I'm afraid to say I'm old enough to have recalled the match when I was, I think maybe just out of college. So that was in my consciousness. But certainly it wasn't until that I saw, I think, Liz Garbus's documentary that I really sort of went deeper into it. How about you?
I had known about Bobby Fischer's story. I'd seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, but Gail Katz came to me with the idea of doing a movie about Bobby Fischer about 10 years ago. And frankly, because of what Ed was saying, I started doing a little bit of research before I made a decision, and found Bobby to currently, at that time, to be very kind of controversial character who was saying things that were unfortunate and can be destructive, and but I found him to be such a fascinating kind of person or study of a character that I just continued to be compelled by his story and what how can somebody end up like this and live this kind of life of this kid who was raised in Brooklyn, who became kind of obsessed with this game of chess, and I certainly had a love for it, but I also think it was a sort of satisfied some kind of thing in his personality where he almost needed chess to survive, and he continued to get better and better and excel at this game in a way that was, I don't want to say unnatural, because there are other amazing players, but he just was the convergence of all the right ingredients to be a brilliant chess player.
When people hear the word, their eyes begin to glaze over, and I think I understood very quickly that it wasn't our intention to teach chess, but the more I learned about chess, the more I learned that it was so much about personality and the dominance of one character by another. It was about will, it was about strategy, it was about so much else. But there was also in it, once you got underneath it, a very natural dramatic shape that I thought would lend itself to a scene or any scene between two great actors.
I think that's true, and but I will say that in just contemplating Ed's job, what his duties are on a film, I would often think, like, this is going to be tough to pull off. And I really think he did a terrific job at making those scenes very dramatic and tense and watchable and engaging for people, I think, who aren't, who won't play chess even or know much about the game.
I'm naturally ungood at chess.
Yeah, me too. I share that with him. But yeah, we spent a lot of time with grandmasters and international masters, and I know a lot more about chess than I did previously. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've always played. I played as a kid, but I never devoted myself with the the extreme that you really needed to get good. As coincidentally, Peter Sarsgaard, who's in the movie, is in fact a passionate and a ranked player. So he was a sort of another sort of closet advisor in the whole process for us.
The truth is an interesting word, and I think, you're certainly, for me anyways, I'm studying the truth of it and trying to portray the character and tell the story, being truthful to the essence of my perception of the story for this form of storytelling. And so there are things that you must do in telling this kind of story, whether you're collapsing time or, borrowing a little bit of things that happened over here and pulling them over there and mixing stuff together. But you're trying to honor the kind of essence of the truth at all times. But you have to take liberty to put it in this form.
Yeah, well, I mean, movies are inevitably reductionist. You're taking a life and trying to compress it into 2 hours. So there's just some kind of a natural compression that takes place. I think finally it boils down to intents and purposes. I mean, we are putting something forth that does become part of the permanent record about someone's life. and we both, I think, feel a very serious obligation to try to honor that. On the other hand, it's our obligation to entertain, and by entertain, it means being aware of certain dramatic values and certain shape of things that may not necessarily have had as much shape in life. I think you finally have to trust your own instincts and your own taste, that people who either know him or know this story in some deep way can understand that you have done as best can be done given the form. I'm fundamentally opposed to reviews. I am, however, not opposed to good ones.
It's nice to read nice things.
Yeah.